Distinguished colleagues, thank you for giving me this opportunity to discuss some few issues on the budget. My name is Yusuf, Abubakar Yusuf. I represent the good and courageous people of Taraba State, Central. Mr. President, for over 40 years today, each government that has passed has been talking about diversifying this economy. General Gawan used system of import substitution. It didn't work. General Obasanjo came and used his Operation Feed the Nation. It didn't work. Alhaji Shehu Shagari came with his system of austerity measures and it didn't work. Subsequent leaders too came and it didn't work. Why is it that it didn't work? We must accept the fact that there is a lot of poor attitudes to national development. Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, this 8th Assembly must take the bulls by the horn and do what is needful to make sure that we get it right this time. Having said that, Mr. President, the thrust of Mr. President's budget is fighting corruption, reduction of insecurity, and provision of critical infrastructure. Distinguished colleagues, this has come within the challenges of unstable global economy. We are relying on one product, our source of foreign exchange. Reserves have declined. We have terrible inefficiency in the federal administration of resources. We have unskilled and greedy civil and public servants. There has not been very good synergy between the public sector and the private sector, and we have always been saying that we want the private sector to lead the development of the economy. Distinguished colleagues, within the critical budget assumptions of $38 per barrel, 2.2 million barrels per day, 197, and the rest of them, if we look at them critically within the context of our reality today, they may look like they are just figures for academic exercise. But we must, as I said earlier, look at them critically and see within the confines of those assumptions the best we can do to promote this economy. This economy must be diversified. To diversify this economy, we must make a lot of investment in science and technology. I was listening to the Minister of Science and Technology who said there are about 200 products that have been developed by science and technology, and none of them has been commercialized yet. Quickly, we must use our banks for effective national development. Our banks are sitting on so much liquidity and have become parasites of government funds and are not doing anything, and it's costed government in 2013 678 billion. In 2014, 471 billion in cost of open market operations. we must use the bank for the purpose of effective development. Quickly, my distinguished colleagues, I want to talk about Mambila hydroelectric power. For 34 years, this critical infrastructure has not been developed in this country today. Quickly, we have seen even there are fresh hurdles in the north, biggest power plant. So we need to back up Mr. President to make sure that the Mambila hydroelectric power has become a reality, at least within this time. Quickly, Mr. President, our oversight function must be effective to block our foreign exchange leakages. For instance, the central bank and Minister of Finance must enforce the laws that were developed on repatriation of export proceeds by exporters on both oil and not oil into their domiciliary account. This is to protect our Naira for effective development. Between 1996, distinguished colleagues, and the end of 2014, there are about $850 billion which has not been repatriated by our exporters. We need to expatriate, we need to repatriate them. We need to use them. We are not saying that it's not their money. It's their money, but they must bring them home and use the money from this country. When you export from America, the money returns to America. When you export from UK, it goes to UK. Why is it that when our exporters export from Nigeria, the proceeds does not come to them?
Distinguished Senator, you need to wrap up now. You have been called time up.
Politically, because it's a private risk and now it has become a public risk. We must look at it critically in order to make our economy diversified. Finally, Mr. Chairman, we need to look into our capital market so that all these companies that are doing well ought to go to capital market for flotation. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.